guys, it's Kate. Welcome to Covert Narcissist 101. Guys, I have a story for you. The Covert Narcissist called the cops on me. Okay, so you guys already know this is summer, so the kids are supposed to have the 30 days from June 1st to June 30th. Okay, and this weekend is the Covert Narcissist weekend for the kids, even though they're going there on the first again. So, so they're going to go and come back for a day and a half or something and then go back on the first. That is not a problem. I'm okay with that. However, sometime this week, I think it's Wednesday, the Covert Narcissist sent me an email, then CC'd the email address of the courthouse on it. On it, he now said, "Oh, I'm trying to exercise my right of picking the kids up on June 15th. Oh, exercise my right based on this decrease, this page section, this or whatever. Picking the children up on June 15th and then returning them on July 6 weeks now, July 27th. So I'm looking at it like, what? When did we move from first week of June to 30th? When did that change?" So I responded, CC in the same courthouse email address he had on there. I guess he put on there too. I don't know what he thought he was going to do, scare me, or I have no idea what this person was thinking. So I said, I'm not quite sure, because I know you guys know on the divorce decree, if you have the standard order thing where they have separate rules for parents that live within 100 miles of each other. They didn't have another section for parents that live more than 100 miles apart. Okay, so they're two different things. So, obviously, we are less than 100 miles apart. He doesn't live too far out. So what he did was to go quote the section from the parents that live more than 100 miles apart. Of course, that makes sense over there because the parents live more than 100 miles apart means they don't see the kids all the time. So some of them get more time. They get 6 weeks instead of the 30 days that they would normally get. So that was the section that he went and quoted. So when I respond, I'm not sure why you are quoting, trying to exercise your right, quoting the wrong sections of the decree. The section you're actually looking for is this. Of course, I know he knew what he did there, but whatever. So I'm like, so no, yeah, that is the wrong section. He responded with, "Well, I'm gonna come pick up the kids this weekend. I'm gonna bring the sheriff with the cops with me in case there's any issue." I said, okay, so I ignored that. So by Thursday, whatever it is, he sent another message, whatever, that he's coming to pick up the kids. Now he sends a private email, coming to pick up the kids, and that he's gonna bring the cops with him in case there's any issue. And I'm wondering, why would there be any issue, if you're picking up the kids when you're supposed to pick up the kids? So, of course, then I realized, wait a minute. Since you're already misquoting the divorce decree and you're talking about you're going to bring the cops in to see if there's any issue, means obviously you knew what you were doing. So, chances are you might take my kids here over the weekend and I might not even see them again. Like, I'll come to pick them up when I'm supposed to pick them up on Monday and they will not be there. So I responded, I said, that's good that you're involved in law because I'm not going to release the case because I'm not sure. You seem to be confused about what a divorce decree says. Anyway, so by Friday, 5:15, he calls. My son answered the phone. He's like, are you guys almost ready? Because I'm going to be there at 6 to pick you guys up. And did your mom say you're not going? My son said, my mom didn't say anything. Like, I'm going to be there by 6. I'm going to come with the cops, so don't be scared. So my son hung up the phone and that was it. So 6 p.m. rolls around. He goes, "I'm here. You guys come out, let's go." And my son looked at me like, "Mom?" I said, "No, you're not going anywhere. No, you're not going anywhere." So he told his dad, "No, mom said not. We're not coming out." Like, what? Because I hear him screaming on the phone. What? Oh, no, wait, hold on. He hung up the phone. Now, before I proceed, yes, I know this is his weekend. I know he's supposed to pick up the kids this weekend. But what I'm trying to establish here is, first of all, one, you're not going to threaten me with bringing the cops in and then decide to get your way, whatever you're doing. That's not going to happen. Two is that since I'm not intentionally misquoting the divorce decree, I don't want my kids leaving my doorstep, and when I show up to pick them up, they are not there. or you decide to do what you need to do. So, and three, I want you to on your own, since you are the one that constantly deviates from the from the order, to know what the consequences are. So it's okay if you go bring the cops yourself, so that maybe they will explain to you what the violation, what it is to violate, and what happens. So that was the issue. I have no, I'm not confused about the fact that this weekend was his weekend, but I wanted him to go and for this to be established now, So 20 minutes, the cop rolls around, and he's right. Meanwhile, parked in front of my house, waiting for the cops. The cop rolls around, comes over, and they spend around, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, I guess, looking at the order that the police was reading. He brought the divorce decree with him. The police was reading it. And then finally, the police shows up at the door. Two of them came in, knocked on the door, and he's standing on that side. The police was standing there kind of far off from my door. So I opened the door. Immediately I opened the door, I looked directly at the officer. I smiled and said, hello. And he's like, oh, ma'am, why we're here, blah, blah, blah. He said, you would let them pick up the case. And well, I said, and I'm looking at him like I did not look at the covert narcissist, did not make any eye contact with him. Meanwhile, he's flipping like he's agitated. He's getting agitated because you have to understand, like I said, if you remember the previous video I told you about, when they call the cops on you, they already assume how you're going to act, and they already know how they're going to act. So he's over there, probably told the police how I'm going to, flip out, and how the police, I know, because the way they were standing, he was standing away from my door, probably like thinking I'm going to react a certain way. So the fact when I opened the door and smiled at him, like I was calm, like looked at him like, hey, good afternoon or whatever. And he started talking. So he wasn't expecting that. So as the time went on, the covert narcissist over there on this side, because I wasn't looking at him, is getting agitated. That's to tell you, the calmer you are, the crazier they get. So he's on this side, walking around, pacing, and the cop was like, oh, ma'am, blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah, I know. It's like, it's today his time to pick up the kids. I said, yeah. So he's like, oh, so you do agree? I said, yeah. I guess the governor told him that I'm going to fight. Like I'm going to say no, that is my time. I said, no, that's his time. Today is his weekend. What I'm trying to understand here, sir, is that he seemed to be confused about when the kid's supposed to visit for the summer or not. So I'm not sure. So that's why you're here. No, today, this is his weekend. I get it. I know. So it's like, okay, so you have no problem letting the kids go visit him. I said, as long as we're on the same page of what the timelines are, yeah, that I have no issue with it. So it's like, okay, so when are the kids they're supposed to go today, come back. I picked them up on Monday, and he looked at the covert narcissist. That's what the divorce decree says, that he's supposed to pick them up on Monday. Yeah. She should come get them on Monday. And then when do you get them back again? And he was asking him now. He's like, oh yeah, come pick them up on the 1st of June. And then they return on the 30th. And the police looked at me like, ma'am, so this is what the decree said. Yeah, I said, yeah, that is what the decree is. So you don't have any issue with, I said, no. The whole time, guys, I thought I was smirking, I was smiling like I have no issue. This is what I wanted to establish. Meanwhile, guys, the covert narcissist hopping around, interrupting the officer. The officer raises his hand twice, trying to tell him to stop. So eventually, the third time he interrupted him, while he was trying to talk, the officer guy literally said, shh, don't talk anymore. Stop talking. I'm like, oh my God. The whole time he kept interrupting. I'm guessing he wants me to, because he started talking to me directly, and I was looking at the officer, talking about, I don't owe you anything. Why are you holding up the kids? Blah, blah, blah on the side. I'm like, I never turned over there to look at him. I didn't acknowledge him. I didn't remove my eyes from the police officer. So the calmer I am, and the more I obviously don't want to engage with him, he's over there flipping around, that the police officer had to tell him, shh, stop talking. Like, wow. He's hopping around like it was crazy. So the police officer was like, okay, so you're going to let the kids come out. I'm like, yeah, let me let them know, they're coming. Let them come out of the house. And so, of course, I went inside. He wrote his note and got the driver's license. And when I got the kids, and it's like, oh, you're gonna bring them out. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna let the kids come out. So 10 minutes, I go back in the house. And the police officer went inside in his truck. He's like, I'm going to sit here until the kids, the kids leave with him or whatever. I said, cool. So he sat in the car, and then, when they got the kids, they put all their stuff together. And then, they left with him. So the police officer what them drove out. And he was like, oh, I mean, you have any questions for me? I said, no, it's unfortunate that, we got to do all this stuff. But I wanted to establish something. He kind of was confused about what the divorce decree said. But so now you help him understand what it is, and he told you what it is, and what is considered a violation or deviation of the protocol. And then I'm fine. I have no issue. And I guess the officer, I could imagine what he told the officer, because he kept thinking that maybe I'm going to flip out or something. He's like, but you're good, right? You don't have any... I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm okay. I have no issues with it, So it's like, okay, well, this is my name, blah, 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 blah. Have any issues, let me know. Cool. And off he went. I said, wow. It's like about, what is amazing to me is how you spend so much time with the covert narcissist. I spent years watching this man, trying to read his mood, trying to watch what he's doing, know how I'm going to act. That's how much you're paying attention to them, to the point that now that he's in a room is close in the vicinity, and I couldn't even look at him. I had no pull, no desire, nothing to look his way to see what's going on. The whole time I could not tell you what his face looked like, whether he had a hat on or not. I could not tell you. That's how much he didn't even register the whole time. And the more I was ignoring him, the more I refused to engage in him, even though he tried talking directly to me. The more he was hopping around, throwing all these different words and whatever. And I kept ignoring him. The more crazy he get, he kept pacing back and forth, interrupting the police officer to the point that you had to tell him to stop talking. You had to tell him to stop talking. Well, this is the guy I tell you, and obviously he felt, just like the first time he called, but the police were here when he was still living here. He thought the whole stunt he put at that time, when I didn't know who he was, that, when they come here and he's going to spin the story and I'm going to be going crazy, because, of course, I was pissed off at that, the first time the police were here, back in the day when he was still here. So I guess he thought that was going to happen. But you see, with the knowledge of understanding who you're dealing with, what was I going to flip out for? So he didn't expect the being calm. He didn't expect the whole me smiling through smiling at the police officer. The whole thing, quite frankly, was hilarious to me. Just that I wanted to establish something, which I did. That was it. And he wasn't expecting that. So he was the one flipping out so much that the man had to tell him to stop talking. Told him, like a child, stop talking. Anyway, guys, that was my Friday. Get your mind right, guys. Get your mind right, and everything has to fall into place. Please like and share.